I've already done this, it's your turn.
Oh, my name's Ravi, and I started Search Property.
And I'm the Chief Send Officer here at Search Property. We try and grow and scale and help as many clients as possible while maintaining quality around our process and the properties we source for clients. I'm just an optimistic dude who likes property. I nerd out about this sort of stuff, so I'm really proud of what we've created here.
Hi, my name is Deepak. I am the General Manager here at Search Property, and my main job is to manage the agency from a back-end perspective. So for context, Ravi and I are brothers, and I came on board 6 months after he founded Search Property, the agency, and I helped build out the entire back end of the operation. So now I oversee everything and make sure nothing breaks. A bit of behind the scenes to all of this is I was already working at a different startup, running operations, and Rav's basically said to me, I mean, I knew of the fact that he had started this and started big on YouTube and was doubling down on that. And he mentioned to me that he's like, look, I want to build the agency out and I want you to come on board and help me build that. So that's when I was like, all right, let's just roll the dice and see what happens. So that's how it kind of started. And just a little under 5 years on, we have built an agency off the back of that. So we've gone from one person being Ravs to now a team of just shy of 50, Australia-wide as well as international.
Guys, did I see there's a stain on the floor? On the phone?
A stain? But it's a new office, we don't have any stains.
Oh no, I just walked past. There's like a big stain. It's actually pretty noticeable.
Really?
Yeah.
What does it look like it is?
Yeah.
Should we go check it out? Oh gosh. That is everywhere. And it continues. Like, that's so bad.
Yeah, it's actually so bad.
Yeah.
What is happening at work today?
Not a whole lot, but Dave did come up to me earlier and told me about some stain. So I'm gonna have to deal with that and don't want to be the one to tell Harry. How are we gonna clean this up?
It's gonna be so bad.
Harry is gonna be so bad. Oh my gosh.
Why do you think Dave did it?
Well, I don't think he would actually care this much if he didn't do it.
What are you doing? Oh, just chilling.
I was looking for you if you're not even dead.
Oh, I just needed a couple minutes.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just chilling out.
Okay, well, come and get me.
Yeah.
When you're ready.
I will.
You noticed any stain or anything going on around the office?
Yes, I have. I've noticed a brown stain as soon as you walk in from our foyer section to the office space.
Who do you think did it?
Yeah, someone thinks I did it, but I got no idea how it happened. Someone's like, oh, they walk through for the first time and like, oh, I bet you did that. Look, why? I never did that. I don't even know how I got there. I 100% think he's annoyed by it. He gets annoyed by little stains on the whiteboard, so that would annoy him.
What's interesting is it was actually quite a minimal stain, and as time has gone on, which is about a month, it's turned into brown, so it looks like coffee spilled over it.
Have you noticed the stain on the floor over there?
What floor? What stain?
I know who did it, but maybe you'll find that in the next episode.
So guys, I want to make a confession. Actually,
Monday, we're back, and we're going to now run pamphlet meetings at 11 o'clock every week at 9 a.m. so that Mel and Anthony can also join us. And you guys are actually joining us this week, aren't you, in person?
Yeah.
So we will be having our strategy day on Thursday. The details probably have already been sent out on Google Calendar. I'll have another review of that, but essentially it's business as usual for the first half of the day. And then the second half, we're going to have a bit more around strategy, workshopping, cross collaboration in terms of teams as well. Yeah, in that month, we also ended up hitting our all-time high for deals that we secured. So that's a massive shout out for sourcing as well as for the AM team. A lot of really good signs, and it's testament to how we've got good systems, good people in the right place, doing the right thing. So an amazing result there. The confidence that we have now as a business is that We have a gun sales team, which means when the leads come through, we're converting them. An amazing sourcing team, which is the best in the country, which means we don't have clients just sitting there. So we've got confidence that if we do open up the taps, when we open up those taps, we can actually service the people that come through. And from an AM perspective, we are currently hiring. So we've got 2 interviews today. We've already conducted a few interviews, so there's more help coming on that front as well. No, all good? All right, sweet. Well, welcome to the team. It's a fantastic place to work. We'll get into a few, yeah.
That's a good time for everyone.
And a mental note of who laughed.
It's cool. I have moments. I had one yesterday actually, where I was like in the corner of the office, and I was just like, everyone's like hustling and bustling, and I was like, you know, if I never uploaded on YouTube 5 years ago, this would never have been possible. So yeah, I had a little moment, and then I got back to reality. I was actually just talking to someone about this, where I rocked up and I thought I was going to get through so much work, and I got through probably till about 3 p.m. and I hadn't even taken my laptop out of my bag. So it's very hard to quantify exactly what I'm involved in. So I try and do most of my work from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. at home, and then when I'm in the office, I can just give as much support to everyone else in what they do.
So we'll cover off a couple of the numbers and then share any insights that we have as well across the teams, if we have any, especially now that we've started meta ads. So you guys might be getting hit up with some ads now on Facebook, Instagram. You're just going to see a bunch more of that. We're going to keep pumping. As we go through these meetings, I want to keep compounding the knowledge as well. So someone from the marketing team or the AM team knows what sales is doing and what sales actually means, versus us just going, oh, these are the sales numbers, see you later. And then we just keep compounding exactly what the business is doing and which direction we're taking it in. So sales actually hit an all-time high. Put it all in your emails.
Carry on.
Carry on.
I usually the same capacity.
Do you guys in those instances, I don't think it happens very often, but whenever you've got one property presenting to 2 different clients, are you guys having conversations around, or at least pre-framing to them that we may have flying chance in this property?
We don't want it to sound like, oh, we've kind of got a deal secured for you. We say it's secured, and then if they're not proactive enough, like, sorry, this is just the way the market is, we've lost the opportunity.
6 hours from the time that the property is presented?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's perfect. Yeah.
Like that's rule of thumb. Ideally, same-day decisions. But then
It's similar, if not the identical parameters. We're only doing the best for them by providing them a property that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
If they can't move, then they can't move.
When I have my onboarding calls, we would have heard this morning, I said that it'll be a group chat with my team assistant Erica, just in case I was sick or on leave.
Perfect.
So we still have someone to talk to.
Sure. I want to understand the ratio of new clients versus settled, not just per AM, but as a function.
where would it be?
You can see it.
You can see it.
Holy shit. It's on the back wall.
Oh.
Holy crap. That's me. Oh my God. Is no one buying this book? I should buy the book. Wow.
Hey, Ravi Sharma, can I have your autograph, please?
Oh, right.
So this is new releases. There would be one more location, which would be like investing or something. You should have like an investing part. Economics. There it is.
Oh, there's loads. Look, it looks like people have already bought some.
Holy shit. Feels weird saying, but it's my book.
Yeah, okay.
And so, I don't know, is there like a process of like a signing or anything like that?
You want to sign it?
Yeah,
you
that'd be
can totally
cool.
do that. Yeah, of course. Yeah, this is the first time you've ever signed a book.
Yep. It feels really, really weird. Maybe I'll just sign here. It's just that I write like a 12-year-old. All the best on the journey. I don't think this is ever not going to be weird.
Absolutely.
Nice, mate. Needless to say, obviously, we want to try and get to know you as much as possible through this process. And again, you know, in terms of what we're going to do moving forward.
Yes, correct.
It's obviously done extremely well for you, mate. given when you purchased it.
I'm actually astounded by the way that it's grown.
Yes.
I was not anticipating that whatsoever. But yeah, I'm quite happy that now we're in a position only, I think, 8-9 months later to be looking at purchasing the second already. So and it's not even taking it back up to an 88% LVR. It's only at 80%.
Wow. Okay, that's awesome. And at 80%, how much equity are you being able to draw out of that investment? You've done so well in a very short period of time. I'm glad you entrusted us with the service, and also on top of that, trusting yourself and your instinct to actually move forward. And then off the back of that, we'll wait for your green light, which is, hey, we're ready to go in a week's time or 2 weeks' time. We can then assess on our end how long turnaround times are going to look like for being able to get your investment property in place.
No, I was never worried about working with Ravs because, you know, a lot of the times people always say, how can you work with your siblings and all that sort of stuff? But Ravs and I have always had this connection, this sense of alignment, especially when it's come to, you know, transfer of energy. We've just always kind of been on the same page. And if we're not, because, you know, we don't agree all the time, we do disagree in certain ways. But the reason why this works so well is, you know, we've gotten the agency to a point where Rav's focuses purely on the front end, which is what he's great at doing, which is doing the content, creating content, curating the overarching strategy of the direction that we go as a business. And I guess for me, it's always about running operations. So, you know, building out different functions within the agency and how it all interconnects and talks to each other. And so I think we both understand where we, I guess, to master of our domains. And that's probably the reason why it works as well as it does. So I was never really worried about working with him.
And to get a higher rental yield position, because again, you're starting to play in a different category of homes. And that's what we see in all markets right across the board. It comes down to whether or not the yield or cash flow position is sustainable for you, because we also know that eventually when rates, you know, restabilize at something that's, you know, the average mean across the board, you know, if we look at historical terms. So for us, naturally, we're always working with lag data, right? So what we ultimately see in terms of volume now only trickles through in valuations and price points with time when we start applying things like indexation. And what we know at a ground level is that there is far more interest of one, using the service, and the amount of people that are coming in now that were, say, sitting on the fence. And that's generally, you know, a telltale sign or a forward-looking indicator of what we can expect to happen in these markets moving forward.
Just got married, haven't you?
I just got married, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Exciting.
It was such a worlds colliding moment overseas when we went and did the wedding.
Yeah.
Because it was like, I would come up and then by the end of the night, I'd have like someone from work talking to my grandparents. And I'm like, that would never happen.
Yeah, yeah. Good, no, and likewise, thank you for having me on the show. And
Late last year, Spotify flew me out to LA.
oh, son.
Yeah, which is awesome. And I was just thinking about actually shutting the podcast at the time.
The universe is like, no.
Yeah, I was like 2 weeks before that happened, I was like, I think like there's too much time going into this, it doesn't work. And so obviously that happens and I'm like, okay, cool. And then I'm like scrolling on YouTube and then I come across Stephen Bartlett. So I start looking at Diary of a CEO. And then I go out for, yeah, it's great. Yeah. I go out the first night for dinner, just to the local, like the downstairs. And I was watching his video and then he comes and sits opposite and I was like,
the front door.
I'm like, this must be a sign.
Oh, yeah.
And so from that moment, I was like, I'm just going to keep bringing on the best guests, get the best value, actually invest my time and put some value behind what we're doing. And then, yeah, ended up meeting a couple of other people like Chris Williamson and then Jay Shetty as well. And it was just like, okay, I'm in this circle for a reason. And so I would love to build something like that here in Australia.
Yeah, power to you.
We'll see what happens.
I'm really passionate about it. You know, I really feel it's my calling, but I also feel it's what the world really needs because people are tired. You know, even successful founders, like they're tired because there's so much going on. You know, the demand to grow, and I think you know we really need to connect to like what does enough look like.
I think that messaging is massive, especially if you're going to create a community around it. Because obviously I speak to quite a few people that run their own businesses and stuff and no one's ever sort of spoken about it on that level, which means it's not top of mind at all.
No.
And so creating a community where people sort of feel accepted, that it's okay to think about these things and it's not soft, that it's like, hey, actually, if you want to make more money and be more successful here, spend some time here where you don't think it's as important, but you unlock that is going to be in abundance.
Yes.
Tell everyone.
So keen. The fact that you said it as well, I was like, oh my god, she knows. Yes. So the myth is that you can't buy a property that gives you cash flow and capital growth. I call it CAP because you can't actually get both. I've done it myself and plenty of people here do it.
Great, thank you.
you don't need as much saved as you think to invest in a property. Where I'm from, you need like 40% to put money down of the deposit, whereas here you could like do as little as 5 or 10%.
Amazing, thank you.
That's right.
Wow, nailed it! Nailed it!
Thanks, Lorelai.
Hey, when's your YouTube channel coming out?
Personal finance with Lorelai.
If we get enough comments, we'll make it happen.
I agree. Let's
Do
go.
a property investment podcast.
Yes.
For the girlies.
Yes,
Ooh.
investment for the girls.
There's probably a women in real estate thing that we can get involved into. I know there's definitely one for women in construction, so I assume it's the same thing. It's like 7 a.m. breakfast.
You know, if you keep the camera on Luca, he'll keep talking.
Oh.
How good is it?
Yeah, she's done that before. It was a big mistake. I'm sitting there, I'm talking about my lunch, what I did today, and I'm like,
44 minutes.
44 minutes?
Yeah.
Is that bad?
That's a long time,
Is that
bro.
long? Well, there's a lot of modules to go through. Then I have to restart a couple. It's like I made mistakes and
Did you use the clapper each time?
I overused the clapper. I didn't know if it was right. It's too low.
Wait, you weren't in the room when you were shooting it?
No, I just let him sleep.
No feedback.
That was really a good.
You've left him to his
I know, I shouldn't have.
I was like, it was like being in a pure white room. You know, you go crazy a little bit. Except it wasn't white. It was just like all checkered. Is that alright? I'm learning, bro. Learning.
Bro, I love it.
Okay, can you debunk a property investment myth for me?
I think I can, yeah. So buying in metro areas is a good investment. So the myth is that buying metro areas is a great investment, but in reality, it costs you a lot of money to maintain for similar growth that you might get in a regional area, and it affects your borrowing capacity, so then you can't go and keep buying properties. So you might get capital growth, but that means nothing if you can't get out the lending for more properties. So
Interesting, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can you guys debunk a property investment myth for me?
What's a good one? You don't need a 20% deposit
That's
in
good.
the market.
That's good. You can actually buy property with a much smaller deposit.
Yeah, like how much?
I was waiting for you to go. Well, you can actually, well, you can get loans up to actually 97% loan to value ratio, which is like a 3% deposit.
Wow, that's great, thank you guys.
Hey, it's actually your birthday this time.
Yeah, it's actually my birthday.
It's actually my birthday too.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear George. Happy birthday to you.
I'm not sure that this is still going to live up to the hype of the other speech I made all that time ago. I know this is like a different crowd, like half of you are different. So probably because I've had less alcohol. So I'm sorry. But thank you all for being here and celebrating this birthday with me, even though it's tomorrow. I'm really keen for tonight, having a couple of drinks with everyone, even though it's a sad farewell for Steph. I think we're all going to have a pretty good night. And yeah, thank you guys.
Do you have the adapter for this? And it's super frustrating.